What's up, everyone? Welcome to one of my favorite times of the year, and that is draft season. Now, I don't know when I'm going to post this, but it'll be before the draft sometime soon. And right now, I'm filming this on a Saturday, right? So, 421. All this information that I know is accurate as of now. Of course, anything could change. I mean, you know how the draft is. I mean, some trade could go down last minute, and all of a sudden, this makes no sense. But draft is on Thursday. I love the draft. We all love the draft. In the back, have some of the best rookies from last year with Fournette, Watson, my Juju, and Pat Mahomes. I pulled all these, so it's been a great year, and hopefully we can have another great year in terms of who we pull. Instagram's in the back. Go check it out. So you see the sheet right in front of me. This is my mock draft. Of course, everyone has their own. I watch so many of the little mock draft shows on NFL Network, all these talk shows. I love watching stuff on the draft, pretty much. I spend way too much time with it. A lot of my life is consumed around the time of the year just looking at draft stuff, looking into what's going to do what, like who's going to go where, all that stuff. And I thought that I would make a old top 10 for my mock draft, right? So just the top 10. Now I spend so much time looking at really just the top 10. I feel like if I did 11 through 32, I don't know enough to really mock it properly. So it would just make no sense. I'd have people going all over the place. That makes just really no sense at all. That's why I just did the top 10 and pulled this up. Now, I'm not projecting any trades. I do think some teams may trade up, and I'll get into that later. This could, I mean, it could happen tomorrow. It could happen, tonight after I make this video. It could happen right on draft day. You never know. Could happen during the draft, as we saw last year. But I'm not projecting any trades because that's just not something I do. This is also based on what I know, what I've heard, and what makes sense. This is not necessarily what I would do or what I would like at each pick, but here's my top 10. So going from 1 through 10, I have Darnold going 1, Saquon 2, Baker, then Chubb, Josh Allen, Quentin Nelson, Minka Fitzpatrick, Jermaine Edmonds, Denzel Ward, awesome guy, and Raquan Smith to the Raiders. Now I actually have two horses in the race here because I like Giants a lot. Also, fan of the Raiders, so I'm very interested in who gets what. They're probably going defense in my opinion, so I focus so much on the Giants. Now, if you are a Giants fan or you want to know more about the Giants and what I think about them, stay tuned till the end of this video. After I finish all this stuff, I'm going to go really in depth into what I think about the Giants pick, what I think is going to happen, and my opinions on some stuff. So 1, I have the Browns going Darnold. You see pick 1, 2, and 3. Pick 1 is what my actual mock is. Pick 2 and the pick 3 is I think the second and slash third most likely player who's going at that position, or to that team. So Darnold going 1, I think he's the best quarterback. I don't even think it's close. In terms of safety, who you're going to take. Honestly, there's so many different talents from all the quarterbacks that I was really torn when I was thinking about who the Giants were going to pick. Everyone has their own thing. I think Darnold's kind of the safest one in the mixture. The Browns really can't mess this one up. They really can't. So I think they go with the safest, best overall guy. I think he's also most likely to succeed, right? No off-field issues like some of these guys. Good height, good hand size. Believe it or not, I've heard a lot about that. I think they're just gonna go with Darnold since he really is the best right now in terms of the draft prospects. I have Saquon going 2. I would like a quarterback. I really would like a quarterback, but I think they're gonna go Saquon. There's been a lot of smoke screens. I mean, they call this lying season, and for a reason. I feel like they might go Saquon Barkley. Todd McShay actually said it's inevitable that Saquon goes there. So who knows what's going to happen. Now, I'm no McShay. I'm not a Kuiper or Daniel Jeremiah or Bucky Brooks. So I don't have any inside knowledge. But, I mean, think about this. Odell Beckham, Sterling Shepard. If they sign Dez, that's pretty cool. They released Brandon Marshall, unfortunately. With Saquon Barkley, Eli Manning, Evan Ingram, I think I already said that. But, that's a high-powered offense. Go O-line in the second round, and all of a sudden we have a better O-line. That offense is going to score a lot of points. Now, that'd be fun, but in my opinion, the shelf life of a running back, maybe 10 years if we're lucky. Whereas quarterback, 15 years you're set up. If you hit, obviously, it's tough. Saquon, I think, is the best player in the draft, but I don't like going running back 2. I really think that it's a rare opportunity to pick 2, and you got to get a quarterback at that position. But I'll get more into that later. Baker Mayfield have going 3. I saw some report that it's pretty much a done deal. Baker is going there. I think they like him the most. The options in this mock draft are Allen and Rosen. Now, a lot of people have Rosen slipping out of the top 10. There's issues with his health, off-field concerns, his personality. People at UCLA didn't like him. His teammates, very cocky, all sorts of stuff like that. Now, Aaron Rodgers was cocky, very arrogant. So I see a lot of talent in Rosen, but I don't really know. And from what all the experts saying, and I'm gonna take their word for it because they are the experts. I'm assuming I'm just gonna go with them and say that Rosen's gonna fall a little bit. You don't even see him on the list here. I've seen so many times where Rosen goes 11 and 12, so I just can't put him down with the Jets. I think they go Baker. Josh Allen, too much of a risk. I have him going 5 here, but Baker Mayfield, Broadway Baker. I mean, that'd be a good match. I think that's who they're going to ultimately go with. So now, here's what's interesting. The Browns, I think, would have gone Saquon if Josh Allen went 2 or someone else went 2. Well, unfortunately for them, Saquon went 2 in here, so they go with Bradley Chubb, put him opposite of Myles Garrett. I really think that works well. That pass rush, that's one of the best pass rushes in the league. Bradley Chubb, ooh, he can play, and Myles Garrett is a star at defensive end, and I think they're going to take him. Unless Barkley somehow doesn't go to the Giants, but in this mock draft he's going 2, so Bradley Chubb goes forward to the Browns, who got very lucky to get these 2 picks. And people knocked them for trading out of Deshaun Watson, but I mean they got this pick. They also have the 4th pick in the 2nd round, I believe. Who knows what that turns into? So maybe they don't look so foolish after all. But I think they would have liked to have that guy right there. So now Broncos. I've heard reports that they'd like to trade down. The pick is for sale. They've announced pretty much to every team, and they obviously I'm not projecting trades. I've also heard that they could trade up. Now the only team they could trade up with would be the Browns, which would make no sense because they're not taking a quarterback, so that wouldn't help them. Which just means the Giants. Now I don't know if we're gonna trade with the Broncos, but who knows? In this mock draft, if I were them, what I'm hearing, I'd say they go with Josh Allen at 5. Of course, Mayfield and Darnold are gone in this one, so not going to go Rosen. I feel like Allen would go well. He could play in that weather. Elway wants to hit on this quarterback. Allen, I think, is a really good prospect. I'd like to compare him to someone, but I really can't. I mean, talent-wise, I heard Stafford and Favre comparisons. The both of them didn't have great completion percentages in college. He has a huge arm. My goodness, he's mobile. Accuracy is a problem. Didn't play too well in college, which definitely calls for pause there. But at 5, I think that's a good spot to take him. Quentin Nelson at 6. Colts traded down. They may trade down again. A lot of people expect them to trade down. Of course, once again, not projecting trades, so I think they protect Andrew Luck, grab the best offensive lineman in the draft. One of the best players in Quentin Nelson. Guard, Notre Dame, very good. I mean, you can never have too much O-line, right? Minkah Fitzpatrick goes 7 to the Bucks. They need some secondary help. Oh, here the team needs right here, so they could use some D-line, corner, and running back. I've seen a lot of people say that the Bucks would take Minkah Fitzpatrick, though. I also saw Derwin James, which I put right here, but I think they're going to go Minkah. I think Minkah's the better one. Tremaine Edmonds goes to the Bears, who no longer have Jarrell Freeman. Could use the linebacker help. That's actually their number one concern from what I've heard. And Tremaine Edmonds is the best linebacker in this draft. Niners, Denzel Ward. I like Denzel Ward a lot. Last year we had Marshawn Lattimore from Ohio State go pretty high, play well. I think Denzel Ward can do the same thing. Pair him opposite Richard Sherman. That's really nice. Niners, they can win some games next year, really, with Jimmy Garoppolo. And they made off like thieves in the night on that trade with the Patriots. So, Raiders finish it off at 10 with Roquan Smith. I would have liked for them to get Edmonds, but Roquan Smith is good. I don't know if they're going to bring back Navarro Bowman, but who knows what's going to happen. I've just seen this a lot. I've seen the linebacker as their number one priority. Some people say safety's number one priority. I don't see that. I really don't. We have Reggie Nelson, I think, came back. Obi Melifonwu, and Carl Joseph. So I don't really see us taking a safety. Corner, possibility, but Denzel Ward won't be there anymore unless he falls, but in this one he's not. So Roquan Smith, since Tremaine Edmonds and Denzel Ward, who I think the preferred options, are gone. So that rounds out the top 10. Here are the team needs, right? Browns could use some O-line now that Joe Thomas retired. They could use a corner, but I think they can address that later in the draft. They have, my goodness, they have so many picks. Obviously they lost a lot to get these picks, but if I had all these picks, I'd be a very happy Browns fan right now. And QB, so which they address here. Giants, running back, O-line, QB. Jets, linebacker, and QB. And I got this straight off the NFL mock draft site. And I don't know why they only give them 2 needs. I feel like they have more needs than just 2, but I guess that's what I put down. So, Browns, once again, same thing. Broncos, O-line, linebacker, corner. I would put QB in there. Even though they have Case Keenum, I don't see him as a long-term option. I don't think really anyone does. Colts, O-line, linebacker, defensive line. Yep. Bucks, D-line, corner, running back. Bears, linebacker, O-line, corner. Niners, corner, O-line, D-line. Raiders, I'm say corner and linebacker. I don't believe it's safety. Now, I just pulled this off the list. That's how you know. So you know I don't believe that they need a safety. But, yeah, there we go. So that's their needs. So, now picks 2 and 3 are obviously not my mock. You see multiple people repeated. Now I think that these are really the blue chip players in this draft who are going to go in the top 10. Of course, there's always some surprises, so this is most likely, this is going to be some guy who sneaks up there, goes early. But starting with the Browns, I'm not going to say who I think that they could pick, who, if they don't go with the projected guy here, who I think they could take. Now, interesting with the Browns and Giants, and there's so much circling around here. I think they'll take Darnold, so do a lot of people, but John Dorsey says he likes the guy with big hands, and we know he likes the guy with big arm. You know, he just recently said he wants someone with big hands. He also said, well, he didn't say, but he drafted Patrick Mahomes, and he was there with Brett Favre in Green Bay. So, I mean, that has to say something, right? Josh Allen fits that mold. And Saquon Barkley, they could always use the best player in the draft. They did like him a lot during the combine time. Haven't heard a lot about it since, but that's what I think they could go with. Now, Giants, they could go Josh Allen, possibly if they don't go Saquon, and they could go Darnold. Now, obviously, if they don't go running back, they'd take a quarterback. And Josh Allen would be the one left. Well, if in some crazy case where they take Josh Allen, Sam Darnold would be the one left. So I think that's really the only 3 options there. Don't see them taking, Baker Mayfield and Rosen. I just don't see it. Rosen and Allen, I think, are the other 2 quarterbacks the Jets will take. Well, we know they're taking a quarterback. They didn't trade up for, Bradley Chubb. Now the Browns, once again, at this 4th pick, I think could take Saquon if the Giants went quarterback. Then Saquon's obviously there. They could go Minkah Fitzpatrick, shore up the secondary a bit, but I think Minkah is a little bit of a stretch. Then the Broncos, they could get Chubb, pair him with Von Miller. That's a good pass rush. Or you could also take Baker. Now I think that Rosen is a possibility there. I don't know. It really just depends who's still there. But pass rush would always be good. They're very likely to trade out them the Colts, so they could trade, but I think they would take Chubb or Mayfield if Josh Allen isn't there, or they don't end up taking Josh Allen. So Colts, pass rush, if he's there, I think they'd love to shore up that defensive line a little bit. Get a blue chip pass rusher, Bradley Chubb. Denzel Ward would be another good one. They could use a corner, even though it's not listed here. I believe Vontae Davis is no longer with the team, so yeah. Bucks, Derwin James, if they don't take Minkah Fitzpatrick, some people are just back and forth. Minkah, Derwin, who's the better safety? I think Minkah is, but I've seen Derwin James mocked there a lot. Corner is also concerned. They could take Denzel Ward. I think by far the best corner in this draft. Denzel Ward and Nelson could be options for the Bears, who could once again use corner help at corner and O-line. We see that right here. And then Niners, Edmonds, Roquan Smith, they could use some linebacker help. Bowman's not there. Reuben Foster just got in some big trouble, so who knows what's going to happen with him. Raiders, Edmonds, and Denzel Ward, some corner and some linebacker help. So that's really what I think is going to happen there. Now, it's more than likely that someone's going to trade up, someone's going to trade down, someone's going to sneak into the top 10. That stuff's always going to happen. This is just why I think, and some other options that they could go at. I think these about 11, 12 players I have here are the guys who really, those top 10 players, and who frequently, consistently are in the top 10 for me. Now, there's guys like Vita V, I think his name is, something like that. D-tackle, he could slide in. Obviously, Rosen could be in here. Some other players, a bunch of other guys who could slide up. And I just didn't see them going there. Of course, you can always look at other mock drafts and you can see. But here are the needs. And this is my mock draft. So what do you guys think? What are your comments, questions? What do you think is ridiculous? What do you think makes sense? And what is your top 10? So it was pretty fun making this. I love the draft. I spend so much time, way too much time, looking at the draft stuff. And whenever this time comes around, this time of year is around, I'm always interested. So stuff can change. I'm hoping it's not, at least before I make this video, because then I'll have to remake it. But this is it. So now I'm going to go into a little more on just some ideas I have, Giants and some other stuff. So teams I think could trade up, right? I'll do that first. I think the Bills could trade up to 2 or 5. They want quarterback, and yeah, they have McCarron, right? And I think they have Nathan Peterman, right? Yeah, so they could trade up to 2 or 5, try to get their quarterback. Dolphins or Cardinals, I could see trading up. But we could see a similar move that we saw last year. The Bears jumped up from 3 to 2. Say the Giants really want Sam Darnold, and they say, you know what, Browns, we'll give you, our second round pick, or a 3 and a 4 and a 4, something like that, and move up one spot. We could see that, but I don't think it's going to happen. And then we could see something like last year we saw the Chiefs and the Texans trade up from the 20 pick around there. We could see a surprise move. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. Both these guys just traded up their teams, and they got them. We didn't see that coming. All I remember was hearing a bunch of wows on draft day, and I was saying that too. So we could have all that stuff happen. If the team I think most likely is going to trade up will be the Bills, the teams I think most likely to trade down would be the Colts. They have so many holes that they could really use these picks. So now it's Giants time. All right, well, I think that we've heard that their preferred guy is Darnold in terms of quarterback. We heard they only like 2 quarterbacks. That's, I'm assuming, Darnold and Allen. We also heard that David Gettleman wants a future Hall of Famer, someone he's going to see in a gold jacket. Now, Saquon, Chubb are those guys. You can make the case for Quentin Nelson too, but I don't see them taking Quentin Nelson. Ultimately, and I actually wrote some notes on my computer, so I'm going to take a peek. Ultimately, I think that there could be a smoke screen going on. So we see this all the time. So we know the Browns like Saquon Barkley. They have picks 1 and 4. An idea I had was, what if we're saying we like Barkley so much that they take Barkley, and then they know they can still get their quarterback here at 4, and that's ultimately for us to get Sam Darnold. Imagine if that happened. So we're saying, oh, we like Barkley so much, we're going to take him at 2. Well, the Browns go, crap, we really want Saquon Barkley. Let's make sure we get our guy at running back, and then get our quarterback at 4. I mean, we'll have the 3rd pick in quarterback. And that could happen. That'd be awesome. Could they get their running back and their quarterback at 4? We get Sam Darnold at 2, which I would love. That's my favorite quarterback in this draft. And I think the most ready now, who has the most talent, like if I was going to start one guy for a game, it would be Rosen. But he has so many off-field issues, and I've heard so many reports of him dropping down that I just can't put him up here. And I just think Rosen, like, this guy just reminds me of Aaron Rodgers. He's so talented. He's ready to play, but his personality is a concern. So who knows what's going to happen with that. So I don't think we're going to get Bradley Chubb, right? I think it's only between Barkley, Josh Allen, and Darnold. The reason why I don't think we're going to get Chubb is we know the Broncos right here are willing to trade up. They would love to get their quarterback. Say David Gettleman said, look, I want Chubb, and that's it. Well, then we can just do that. So look, we know he's not going here. We know he's not going here. We wouldn't mind Barkley or Chubb. So one of them is going here, but one of them is going to be left here at 5. So I'm going to say, hey, John Elway, I have the 2nd pick. And if you trade me the 5th pick, along with maybe a 1st, a 2nd, and some other stuff, you can jump up from 5 to 2. Remember, the Jets moved up from 6 to 3 and gave up their number 6 pick along with 3 second-rounders. So if we asked for maybe their 5th pick and 1st, a 2nd, maybe something else, I think that would work, and we'd still get Bradley Chubb, a few picks lower, so cheaper contract, and also we would gather more picks to address our many holes, and we still get our guys. So I don't think Chubb's going at 2. I think it would make no sense. Only way Chubb goes to Giants if we move down. That's the only way I see it happening. So now I think we need to get a quarterback, because when's the next time we're picking number 2, right? Unless we stink next year again and everyone gets hurt, we shouldn't be expecting to pick 2 for a long time. That being said, I think we should be taking our quarterback. Now, remember, this is just what I like. I like taking a quarterback, whether it's Allen or Darnold. If you can get past Rosen's issues, I would like Rosen even more than Allen. But apparently Rosen is just a damaged goods. Right, so, I mean, how many times you get the 2nd pick? You got to go quarterback. Taking a running back at 2, I don't see it happening. The shelf life for a running back is nothing compared to the shelf life of a quarterback. And yeah, and Saquon's production in college was just okay. People, talk about games where he was limited just like around 40 yards. I think that was against Ohio State maybe. And he was good, but he wasn't great. He didn't have like Zeke level production. And I believe I had one more thing to do. Oh yeah, one thing I want to say was Saquon is more of a win now guy, and David Gettleman said that that's kind of what he's trying to do. I think that's fairly foolish. I mean, if we've seen our schedule, it's tough. It's really tough, and we guys are thinking for the future with Eli Manning. I mean, entering fossil status, you got to grab one of these two guys. So if Darnold goes one, that's kind of sad, but we should take Allen. If we can get past the Rosen's issues, I would like Rosen. If they go Allen at one, which, I mean, it looks like they're going Allen at one, but I believe that's all just like silly smoke screens, and they're going to actually go Darnold. I mean, but if you look at the hints, they're kind of talking about Allen a lot at one. I don't think it's actually going to end up happening. So, yeah. Maybe we grab our quarterback. Who knows what's going to happen? All I know is that this draft day will be crazy. Last year we saw trades like crazy. We could still see that this year, but I think in terms of player selections, I can't lock down a single player going anywhere in this whole top 10. Yeah, there's no one guy who said, oh, I know where he's going. Like, we really don't know if Darnold's going to go. Right now, I would say it's 65-35 Darnold. You never know. I think it's 50-50 with the Giants at quarterback. You really just don't know. I can't lock in a single guy here. So I think this could be the most interesting draft. And, Thursday night, we might be looking back at this, and we're all going to laugh, and every single one of these could be wrong. I personally hope so, because that means we got our quarterback. But, yeah, let me know what you guys think. That's my Giants talk. If you have some stuff to tell me about the Giants, want to talk about it a little more, feel free. Well, most of that stuff was my opinion mixed with the facts I've heard. So, all the experts, a lot of McShay, a lot of Mel Kiper, listened a lot to Jeremiah and Bucky Brooks, Daniel Jeremiah, that is. So, I just pulled this out of nowhere. So, that's what I think. And we'll see you draft day, so I'm excited. Hope you guys are too. Here's to a happy draft day, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.